Okay, all right. If you don't know, David Haye is going to be taking on Tony Bellew. Tony Bellew, current WBC Cruiserweight champion, on March the 4th, 2017. It's a money grab fight. It's a money grab fight because you have David Haye, who hasn't fought a cruiserweight in God knows how long. He is fully, officially a heavyweight. And even though I'm a big Tony Bellew fan, I'm a big Pretty Ricky Conlan fan, he got stopped at cruiserweight. I mean, at light heavyweight. So, even though David Haye is getting a lot of shit from the media and a lot of shit from fans because of what he did to Shannon Briggs, Tyson Fury, you know, he glassed poor old Derek Chisora, glassed the shit out of him. Had Adam Booth like, yo, who the fuck? How am I bleeding? Like, who glassed me? You know, they had to find out I was this fucking fighter that got him glassed. But anyway, I'm TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live. Here's a interesting development. Since the fight for Tony Bellew and David Haye is happening on March the 4th, Andy Ruiz, top-ranked fighter, very, how can I put it? He doesn't look it, but he's got very fast hands. Very good boxer. But his stamina, conditioning, and foot movement may be a question. He's taking on New Zealand fighter Joseph Parker. Joseph Parker is good, but he's in a situation where we really don't know who he is. We can all say, oh, yeah, he's good, and he's going to be this and that, but we really don't know for sure. I feel that after the Andy Ruiz fight, if he wins or loses, we're going to know who he is. So, that fight is taking place on December the 10th in New Zealand for the vacated WBO title. The WBO was going to strip Tyson Fury, but it's Tyson Fury's title, and, you know, it's haunted. It's haunted by Tyson Fury because he didn't lose the title. He was on, he was doing some coke. All right? So, you have that fight taking place. Then, the WBO, for some reason, even though David Haye hasn't done anything, the WBO, for some reason, ordered David Haye to fight the winner of Joseph Parker and Andy Ruiz. But, since David Haye is fighting in March, he can't possibly fight in, I guess, April or May for that WBO title. So the WBO is like, well, now, listen, since you're taking that fight, we got to move on. Because he was supposed to fight on December the 10th. Two, we don't know. Go check David Haye's Twitter. Before he signed to fight Tony Bellew, he was supposed to be having some big news for December the 10th. He's not fighting on that date. He's fighting in March. When was the last time he fought? He fought in May, right? So basically, he's taking another long layoff. But the Tony Bellew fight is going to be big money for him. That's why a lot of people feel he's taking the fight. And even though they were both cruiserweights, David Haye, listen, you can't take nothing away from me. You can't take nothing away from me. As far as skills is concerned, David Haye is good. And he won't knock you the fuck out, excuse my language. But let's face the facts. Now, Tony Bellew, what I've learned is from his stint in acting with the, Creed movie Pretty Ricky Conlan, what I've learned is that he's gotten better on the microphone. He knows what he's doing. He's promoting the shit out this fight. He knows that he's got to talk shit, and he's got to talk big shit. After all, he slayed the shit out of David Haye on that post-fight interview after the BJ Flores fight. He slayed the shit out of him. So it's a situation where David Haye had to fight him after that. Now, when it comes to the Shannon Briggs situation, Shannon Briggs just fucking annihilates any heavyweight. If you're in his way or if he wants to fuck with you, he's going to fuck with you. And then he's got a whole following of young people who are good with the internet, good with editing shit, and they're making these memes and these little videos and everything for him, and it's just, let's go chat. So what David Haye did to him was wrong because, in my opinion, David Haye versus Shannon Briggs is just as big of a fight as David Haye versus Tony Bellew. It's just that Tony Bellew, for some reason, I guess David Haye feels he can make more money, and I can see it. And for Eddie Hearn to make this fight, it's not like these guys are, like the Golovkin situation where they were 2 weight divisions apart. David Haye is not undefeated. So we heard about what Tony Bellew said he did to David Haye in sparring, even though that was back in the amateurs. Still, and then anything can happen in boxing. But one thing I got to say is, David Haye is not no joke, and he is the favorite, or should be the favorite, to win. So it's all about how you look at it. I hear a lot of people bitching and complaining, talking about, I'm not going to buy the fight, or Eddie Hearn is just always trying to sell us shit cards. And it's like, yo, really? You're going to watch the fight. What are you going to do? As y'all see over in the UK, when your mates are all out, drinking and all that shit, you going to just be home? You going to just be home, mate? You going to be home by yourself? Fight's on? I'm not watching it. This fight's going to be massive. That fight's going to be massive already. Can you imagine? We haven't even seen a promo for it yet. The press conference is on Tuesday. Is it Monday or Tuesday? Tuesday. I'm scrambling to get somebody there because I know that shit's going to be lit. The gloves are off. That's the UK's version. I'm talking to the American fans. That's the UK's version of HBO Face Off with Max Kellerman. That shit's going to be lit. Behind the ropes? The UK's version of HBO 24/7. I'm sure they're going to have one. That's going to be lit. So, one thing that Tony Bellew said that was very humble of him is that he said that, I'm not underestimating David Haye. If I touch him, he's going to get knocked out. If he touches me, I'm going to get knocked out. But that's how you know that somebody's going to get beat the fuck up. And I got to be honest with you. I'm a David Haye fan. Like, dude is good. David Haye is good. No matter how you try. I understand he's been on some weirdo shit the last several years. But, dude is good. So you can't take that away from him. Even when it comes to the Shannon Briggs fight. I love Shannon Briggs to death. But Shannon Briggs, I think deep down he knows is that Shannon Briggs really only has a puncher's chance. David Haye. I was thinking of fucking what Shannon Briggs said. But I hope I don't get in trouble for that. But David Haye can dance circles around him. We just have to see. March the 4th, 2017, Sky Sports box office. Somebody in the United States will pick this up. It may be HBO. It may be Showtime. Tony Bellew is no stranger to HBO. He fought it down Stevenson on HBO. And David Haye is no stranger to HBO. And I believe he had a few fights way, way back, or a couple of fights on Showtime. But somebody's got to pick this fight up. Because it's like, it's an international phenomenon. So, like I said, don't bitch and complain. Because I know there's people out there that are just like, we should have got this or that or this or that. But it's like, come on. It's a money grab fight for David Haye. It's a money grab fight. It's like, oh shit, those first two fights with that Grinjog or whatever the fucking goddamn name was, and De Mori. No disrespect to him, but they wasn't on David Haye's level. Those were fights to get David Haye's name back out there and to get him out of whatever debt he's in, and also to get a little bit of money in his pocket. Now to him, this Tony Bellew fight is like cha-ching. Eddie Hearn is, right now, in my opinion, the promoter of the year and the best promoter in the world right now. So, it's going to be a big fight. They're going to make a lot of money. So, we just have to see. We just have to see what happens. But now, it's going to be interesting to see where David Haye goes. Because you have Tony Bellew, who's talking about if he wins, he wants to fight, Tyson Fury. And Anthony Joshua was like, whoa, bro. Okay? I'm a fan, Tony Bellew. I'm a fan. But it's like, whoa, bro. But you have to, think about this. You have to respect what Eddie Hearn is doing because he was the villain, even though he wasn't in the movie a whole lot, but he was the villain in a critically acclaimed, Oscar-nominated Rocky movie. Even though it was Creed, but still it's like, that has to get, credit. And I like how Eddie Hearn has been treating him like the star. I mean, he is. It's a shame that a lot of American fans don't know who he is. But, Tony Bellew's the man, not only because of the microphone, but he don't really have any slow-born fights, especially if you look at over the last few years since he's left the light and heavyweight division. You know, he put a whooping on Nathan Cleverly in that second fight. Remember, he went down against Makabu, knocked him out. The fight against BJ Flores, even though BJ Flores ain't do shit, that fight was exciting, especially with the post-fight interview. It was a fight. Was it some guy named Dos Santos? I forgot, where he had a little bit of trouble with. I've covered his last fights for the last, like, all of them for like the last, I guess, 3 years, some shit like that. So even though I forget little things, I've watched all of his fights. And the same thing with David Haye, but he don't fight. So it's not like I'm just talking just to be talking. But I gotta go get some caffeine. We're gonna talk about this in. It's gonna be a video right now. It's November the 26th, 7:38 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. On November the 27th, about 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, or about maybe 4 to 5 videos after this, I'm going to do a live stream, and we're going to go into detail of all the boxing news, including this for what's appropriate for the date. So, I am sponsored by an app. It's called FireFan. The link is right down below in the description box. All you got to do is click the link, register, help me out. Then once you get the email, download the app, and basically that is going to be revenue that's going to be generated to put into this shit, to YouTube, and to making sure that all my team gets to fights with no issues and they can work comfortably. Simple as that. So I'm TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live. I cover every single major fight live. I have a website launching, of course, by the time David Haye and Tony Bellew are in the ring. The site will be well past up and running and established. FightView360.com is launching within the next 2 weeks or less. Please subscribe. TstreeT Controversy and TstreeT Controversy Live.